Mario Tennis Fever's big new gimmick makes Nintendo's best sports game even more chaotic and fun. How do you improve upon Wii Sports Tennis? Whether outright admitting it or not, it's this question that Nintendo has clearly pondered ever since the Wii's iconic pack-in game launched alongside the console in 2006. Sure, Mario Tennis as its own accomplished series may have existed a little while before that, but it's this specific, motion-powered high that the moustachioued plumber has been forever trying to chase. And I for one think we can all now admit even 2018's Mario Tennis Aces couldn't quite reach. Fortunately, after playing a 30-minute demo of Mario Tennis Fever at a recent event, I'm starting to believe that Mario's latest racket-based endeavour may succeed where Aces failed. Because while there's still so many modes I need to try and the new story adventure remains a mystery, the core idea of Fever rackets and Fever shots looks to bring an all-new strategy and dynamism to what is easily my favourite of the Mario sports spin-off games. Getting the obvious bit out of the way, Mario Tennis Fever looks absolutely stunning on Nintendo Switch 2. What with tennis being a fairly frantic and speedier sport, regardless of how amped up me and other players got when playing 1v1 and 2v2 matches, the console always did a good job at running smoothly on Nintendo's new hybrid. At least in docked mode, which was the sole way I got to play it. Outside of this, there being a staggering 38 characters featured, including the debut of Baby Waluigi, makes Fever easily the most generous of any Mario Tennis game before it too, with every member of the Mushroom Kingdom slotted into a specific category, such as speed, power, all-rounder, and so on. I'm sure such a wide roster has been a nightmare for Nintendo to balance, especially when you add in the 30 Fever rackets on top, but it's so far doing well to give players plenty of gameplay style and shot options. Speaking of which, it shouldn't be all that surprising to learn that the 30 Fever rackets themselves are unequivocally the star of the show here. Whereas before, your only method to catch your opponent off guard was by relying on power shots and knocking the ball into the area of the court they're unable to reach or predict, Fever shots can have a much larger impact in a match. You see, all 30 rackets are infused with a specific power or ability you'll know from the Mario games, such as the Fire Flower, Ice Flower, or even a mini Mushrooms racket. The resulting effects of most of these are largely self-explanatory, but even in my short time playing Mario Tennis Fever, there were still a few I had access to that managed to surprise me. The one I got to grips with the most was called the Mud Racket, which, when combined with Diddy Kong, who was categorized as a speedy character, allowed me to cause real issues to both the game's AI players as well as some real-life ones. Much like other types of powerful shot, activating my Mud Racket's Fever shot meant waiting for the appropriate meter to build through standard gameplay, before activating it to temporarily pause time and then line up the perfect angle as needed. The effects of my Mud Racket then saw the portion of the court in which it landed absolutely caked in black like sludge, at which point running through it would cause great damage and slowness to whoever stepped into it. It's due to harmful effects like these that trying to return an opponent's Fever shot is absolutely just as important as winning rallies or serving back standard shots in order to come out on top. Admittedly though, that's easier said than done, and it requires a lot of great timing and patience. The other main Fever racket I got to wield in my session was the Fireball Flower, which differentiates from the standard fire racket by not caking a part of the court in fire and instead sending back an array of fireballs across the court whenever I returned the ball for a temporary period. This led my opponent not just to have to think about their placement and positioning when trying to smack the ball back, but also forced them to bob and weave between some seriously inconvenient projectile fire. All the different Fever racket effects I got to try and was on the receiving end of, curse you, lightning racket, made me walk away from my demo believing that Mario Tennis Fever could well serve up the same type of chaos and unpredictability that this spin-off series has been sorely lacking up until now. In fact, it's not too dissimilar to the way Mario Kart makes you think about and consider so many other factors outside of simply, you know, racing. Of course, right now the full potential of the effects and impacts Fever rackets can achieve remains to be fully seen, but I already think I've witnessed a solid amount of variety, the kind of which should ensure that no game of tennis in Fever ever need quite play out the same. The last thing to mention was another mode of play I got to try called Wondercore, which, as its name implies, takes a heavy cue from Super Mario Bros. Wonder to make some seriously trippy effects take place on the screen. The example I got to see involved me and my partner trying to aim and hit as many Wonder Seeds that appeared on the court as possible, all while they were randomly being shot out by a near endless onslaught of piranha plants. Though lacking the purity and manageability of the standard tennis game modes, it's nice to have a more madcap option for whenever me and friends want pure, unbridled chaos to ensue. Mario Tennis Fever is already setting itself up to serve an ace then, but that said, as for whether the full package will be able to deliver just as much creativity and invention as the new Fever rackets provide remains to be seen. I say this as someone who's super curious and interested in Fever's version of Adventure Mode, which is set to follow baby versions of the Mushroom Kingdom cast travelling around a remote island trying to defeat bosses via, you guessed it, their tennis skills. The premise certainly possesses a lot of promise. Purely in terms of fun gameplay though, Mario Tennis Fever might just be the Mario sports game return to form we've all been craving. I certainly have a fever for it now, following just 30 minutes of playtime. So there you have it guys, in terms of my brief but hopefully impactful preview impressions of what I got to play of Mario Tennis Fever. Do you plan on picking this game up when it releases very soon? Be sure to let us know in the comment section below. And then, when you've done that, if you enjoyed it, why not leave this video a like and consider subscribing to the All Out Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.